Support for this program is provided by
The Women's Hospital delivers comprehensive health care to women and infants through inpatient and outpatient obstetrical, gynecologic, and education programs. The Women's Hospital, only at Deaconess.
and by Toyota Indiana, Pump It Up Evansville, and Gigi's Cupcakes.
I grew up in a military family. My dad was an Army chaplain, and during my childhood and teenage years, I saw physical fitness being promoted all around me. I heard the cadences early in the morning from the soldiers who were getting in their physical fitness, and I think that helped develop my love for being physically active.
Being physically fit is more than just lifting that weight or the miles that you ran or the group class that you took. It's the feeling that you have when you're inside of that moment and you're pushing your body to move outside of its comfort zone, and your mind is fighting you, your body is fighting you, and you are pushing through it. And then when you're done, it's like, I did that. And you leave and you feel accomplished and confident, and you take that into the world. That's what we're talking about today. Not just what physical fitness does for our body, but it's mind, it's body, it's spirit, and it's almost hard to explain. And these women are so vulnerable and so honest, and they're sharing with us their success within physical fitness and their journeys in that, but also the insecurities and the fears that they have felt while walking through this. And I can't wait for you to meet them.
I didn't get into long distance running until my late 30s. My husband decided he was going to train for a marathon, and I'm always up for a physical challenge, so I joined him. Now I've run 117 marathons, and he's run 16 marathons. I'm a mother of 6 children right now. I started marathon running after I had baby number 5.
Running gives me a block of time to myself in which I can think. I'm so busy at home with my children and with meeting everyone's needs. I have such a wide range of ages as far as my children, and it's difficult to, when you're in the midst of chaos, it's difficult to kind of sort out what does each individual actually need. So I rely on running to give me that time to really think about each person in my family and try to think about any cues they might be giving me as far as a need.
My running goals definitely changed over time, and they changed as my kids got older. I started with the goal of trying to qualify for Boston.
I went into marathon running in pretty good shape. I've always worked out, and I thought, being inexperienced as a long distance runner, I thought, well, I could probably qualify for Boston in my first marathon. 5 years and 4 months later, I qualified for Boston. 38 marathons later, no matter if I've run over 100 marathons, I have to stay on top of the training. I have to get out there and do a weekly long run, even though I would rather be in bed. I would rather, be snuggling at home with my kids Saturday morning. But if I'm going to finish this marathon, I have to get out there and put in the miles. And there are a lot of weather elements which add to lack of motivation. I don't feel like going out in the freezing cold oftentimes and getting sweaty and wet in the cold and not being able to move my fingers. It's hard. It's extremely hard. But the payoff is worth it. The payoff is worth the work that goes into this. When I crossed that finish line with the Boston qualifying time, I just felt exuberant, like I'm unstoppable. I can do anything, and it's just examples like that have made me a happier person.
When I finished the 50 states, I lacked just 14 states with times under 4 hours. Now, I have 40 states with Boston qualifying times, and there have been only 2 women in the United States who have completed this goal.
I want to share my passion for fitness with others and hope to motivate others. And I feel such a strong love for fitness, and I know personally what it has done in my life as far as not only building my body and maintaining my body at a fit level, but it's built my self-confidence. And I don't think I would be the same person if I didn't have fitness in my life. I listen to my body. If your body will give you cues, and if it's tired, you'll know. And it's important to listen to those cues just as much as it's important to train. I think rest is as crucial as training.
But as far as balancing, my family is always #1 priority. So the balancing game has been worth it for all of us, and I've learned to be better balanced over time through running.
That block of time is crucial for me. It kind of is my nourishment to keep me going and to keep me focused on each individual and what they might be craving so that I can meet those needs. And at the same time, running is meeting my needs. So it's definitely a win situation for the whole family.
All around the world, Michelle, you're about to become a 7 continents winner. Nothing but a straight line. Give us a cheer. Michelle Walker.
I was born with like a lot of energy. I'm just a real high energy person, and I need like an outlet to let that energy out. I'd rather sprint than run, and I get so much more out of it. My body, that's how my default is. So 225 is what my PR is, and I got that like 2 weeks ago. But since we're here and I'm feeling excited, I don't think it's a bad decision. We'll go for 225 plus 5 is 230. 230 pounds. Yeah, 230. So for a long, long time, getting 2 big wheels was like the ultimate goal. Like, I was like, 2 big wheels, 2 big wheels, 2 big wheels. That was huge. All right, Michelle.
You got this. Lightweight. Drive. Come on, it's all you. Oh! Yes!
Did you help me?
No, I did not help you. That was all you.
Now I'm a little tired now. I'm just a little fatigued. If I can't get this lift, I just have to communicate that with somebody and just drop it.
Have you done that?
Yes, one time. I have video of it too.
Oh, wow.
It was...
Who's behind?
It literally killed my ego, like, unbelievably. Like, I thought... I left, I think. I think I might have cried. Freaked me out, you
know, because I had just had so many positive gains at that point, and I hadn't really had any setbacks, and I think it kind of took me by surprise. And then you have to deal with that kind of stuff, you know, like, which is, my coach calls it character building.
I think about my kids a lot when I'm lifting, like a lot. And my family, because there's different types of workouts that I do, and some allow me to just completely go into a different place, like so zoned in on that one thing, I'm not thinking about a lot of other things. And then when I do a different type of workout, I'm thinking about my family and my kids and Project Revealed and where I want to go and my friends and my family. I'm thinking about, I'm almost taking inventories, like personal inventories, and I'm saying, because it allows you like the space to do that. So I'm going, okay, what did I do? What do I want to do? How do I get there?
Like when it gets harder, I just look myself in the eye and like talk to myself, like you are so freaking strong. Like you can do anything.
My body and my mind worked so hard to get the weight. And there are times it is so hard. It is so hard. But I fought through it and I got it. And it is like euphoric to get it. I don't know. I feel confident. I feel like I could walk out and like do life things. Like I can do anything in life because I did it. And I know that may sound stupid, but it's like, I did that and I worked so hard to get it, especially when I set a goal. Like I have wanted for so long to hit two big wheels, 225, 2 big wheels on the side. I mean, that we've been talking about that for a year and I finally did it. And I was just like, oh my God. You know, I have a great coach and I have a great husband, they support me, but at the end of the day, like I lifted that weight. It feels so good. Like I don't know how to describe it.
Sometimes I'm like, I think like, I can't even freaking believe you're doing this right now. Like this is the coolest thing ever. Like I feel like lucky, you know, like wow, like I get to do this. I can't believe I've been given like the energy to do this, like the drive to do this. You know, like I feel like lucky somehow.
You know, I feel like in the job that we do, we're really of service to other people. We're really service focused on other people, and you know, you take care of your kids and you're being of service to them, and you want to be a good wife, you're being of service to them, and then we do all these things in our life that we give, and this is like the place that I can take. Like it's mine. And it's just mine. It's just mine.
I think I started competitively swimming when I was about 8 years old. So kind of just got into it. I quit gymnastics when I was like 7. My mom told me I had to be involved in something. So I decided, why not try to swim? I like to swim. Yeah. Oh, every day it's a struggle. It's a struggle. You're never going to feel good for every single set you do or for a lot of different emotions and feelings, you know, while you're swimming of I want to give up or I want to stop. I was a butterflyer, and so the 200 fly was my event. And throughout, you know, I mean, I still remember there's just times you're just like, I don't think I can do this. You know, I don't think I can finish this race. I just can't. But I guess just had to tell myself, you know, your body is a lot stronger than your mind. And you have to, it's a mental game that you have to convince yourself that I can do this. And when you get to that point, that's what helped me be able to rise to the next level. I don't know, I think my challenge was different. My challenge was not necessarily, I mean, of course I had those goals of breaking the 100 butterfly record at Ball State and some relay records, and getting on relays was a big thing for me as well, is that challenge to get there, because you know you're competing against some teammates to get those spots. I guess the biggest challenge for me though wasn't necessarily the times and everything, it was about, how do I put it, not competing for the right reasons. I think I personally was always scared of failure, and so I would always want to meet everyone else's expectations of what they had for me and their goals for me. And I want to, like a people pleaser, you know, you want to do what they want you to do. And sometimes that takes the fun out of it, and you don't really understand why you're doing the sport or why you're putting yourself through that every single day. And I just learned I'm not competing for everyone else in the world. I'm competing for the audience of one, which is God, and who gave me this skill and this passion of exercising and swimming. And that's when I had just more joy in swimming, is when I realized that I don't have to do this to impress anyone else. I can have fun doing it and not necessarily worry about the outcomes all the time. I'm able to do it with now a smile on my face. I feel like the difference was when I used to compete, it was like, I gotta do this, I gotta sacrifice, I've gotta put all the work and the time, and I gotta do all this. And sometimes I wouldn't have that smile at the end. I would be disappointed because I didn't meet certain expectations. And now when I compete, when I ran the Boston Marathon, when I do Ironmans, I'm just smiling along the way because this is what I'm called to do. And if I fail, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't determine my value and who I am as a person. You know, and I guess thankfully for me, I realized that swimming was a part of my life. It wasn't my life. I realized that athletics are just my avenue. So the first one ever I did, I don't even know, I can't remember why I did it. But my dad and I remember he came with me. I went to Louisville, Kentucky for my first one. And I just remember looking in the river, the Ohio River, and I saw like ducks, you know, going around, and I saw fish and algae, and I'm like, I'm not swimming in that. It's gross. It's really disgusting. So, and he's like, well, you signed up, so you have to do it. And I was like, okay, and I never back out of commitment, so I'm gonna do it. And it was just a sprint triathlon, and I survived the swim and the bike ride. I was on a little hybrid bike, which everyone just kept passing me on their nice bikes, and I was just enjoying my little Sunday ride. And then on the run, I just liked I had that running in me, so I was just like, couldn't wait to get off the bike. And then I went there was a 5K run at the end, and I did it, and I ended up, I think I won my age group, and so I was like, oh, okay, well, this is fun. I don't know what I'm doing, but okay. And I told my dad when I got finished with that, I was so sore, and on our way home, I was like, I am never doing a full Ironman. I'm never doing a full Ironman. That's crazy. Those people are crazy. Yeah, so I just went into territory. I had no idea what I was doing. So it was, there's so many workouts that are so tough. I found those days when you want to give up, and those days that you don't want to do that workout, you see that long concrete road in front of you, and you're just like, wow. Or you go out for that 112-mile bike ride, and you're like, it's going to take the next 5 hours of my life, you know? And I realized I thought of people through my workouts. When I had people right next to me, it was a lot better. We could have conversations and help each other. But when you're alone, it's when I really learned that I just remember my last Ironman I did in Ironman Louisville that, a coworker who struggled from having a stroke, he didn't give up in life, and he was my fuel for that run. My grandpa battled cancer, and that was my fuel to get past that. I couldn't think about myself. I couldn't think about the pain I was in. You have to think about the greater cause and why I'm doing it. I just don't want, I didn't want my identity to be found in athletics. I didn't want my identity to be found in people just to see me as this Ironman person or to see me as this athlete. And when I moved here to Evansville a year and a half ago, I almost gave it all up. Your identity, just because you're doing something, your identity doesn't have to be found in that. That's when I started to realize that it's okay. By me living out my dreams, people will look at that and be able to be inspired. And it wasn't selfish of me to be able to do this.
I do the 50 meter and 100 meter. I generally don't do more than that.
So you're a sprinter?
Yeah.
What got you interested in being a sprinter?
I don't know. I just look like fun. Well, sometimes I'm meditating. Most of the time I'm meditating or just kind of let you get ideas when you kind of don't think of nothing, then you get great ideas. So sometimes I think of nothing. I try to think positive all the time. And so I have positive thoughts come in. It's sort of like when you're running, you have a freedom. And I just feel that freedom. I mean, you have to realize I was tied down for a long time with children and didn't work, so it's like freedom. My mother died when I was only 10 years old. And after that, kind of was pretty independent. And actually, when I was 18, I went to Chicago by myself to work at a Shriners Hospital. But after a year, I kind of missed my friends. So I came home and I met my husband, and, after, I guess, 9 or 10 months, we got married. So then I changed my life forever. I mean, no one knows what they're getting into in a marriage until they're into it. It's like no one knows how you're going to train children until you actually have children. But when I had my 9 children, I said, it actually was, I had 2 leg operations, and it was emotionally too much, and physically, I didn't think I'd live if I kept having big children, and I didn't think that's, so I mean, sometimes you have to kind of hit bottom. People hit bottom in all different ways, and that's kind of like when I was pregnant with my last one, I kind of hit like, this is it. I have 9 children. I want to raise them. And then when my youngest one was in kindergarten, I got a job, and I went out, and when you get a job, it's like one thing leads to another. When you get a job, then I had a little more freedom and independence, and also had a little money extra to spend. I think I lost myself because, you know what, when women didn't work out of the home, you was Mrs. somebody, Mrs. your husband's name, and then you were a mom. And before I got married, I was independent. I was Martha, and I was Martha. I really did not want just being a mother and a wife. I wanted to be, I think there's different parts to it, and I think a wife, a mother, but you still, if you're out in the working world, you sometimes don't lose that. I didn't know what it was. It's been so long since I worked, but everywhere I worked, it was like therapy, and yet they were paying me. Well, I started bowling a few times in between children being born, like my 2 youngest ones. I took them to daycare. They had a place in the bowling alley by then you could take them, so they were in grade school. Bowling was one of my first things. I will tell you, when my kids were little, there used to be this show on TV with Jack LaLanne. And I made my kids either read a book, read during that time, or go play outside because I always watched Jack LaLanne. Because I never wanted to get fat. I just never wanted to get fat.
What was the shame?
I knew nothing about the races until I was in exercise class, and this lady told me, she said, oh, everybody in exercise class, come on out to the mall, we're going to do a 2-mile walk if you're 55. And so when I went out there, I think I came in first in my age group. And that's why I said, hey. And then I got a medal, and it's like, wow. And then the following year, I found out you could do all kinds of things. So little by little, I just said, I'm going to try that. The second year, I did the 100-meter run, and I won in that. And then I think the third year, after I was invited to go to St. Louis, I didn't know because I won the 100-meter run. I had an older sister and I got her interested. So we started doing, she wanted to play shuffleboard, so we played shuffleboard. And I mean, I think that about the 4th year I was doing everything. I think I did pretty good. I won a lot of gold medals. But it wasn't about the gold medals, it was about being part of something. And I was getting my identity back. I don't want to let it bother me so much that you become obsessed with it. See, I really believe in a balance in life. And if you do too much of one thing, you're not going to have that balance. And if it's only rewarding to me, that's fine. Because really, life is a journey for all of us. And we all have to conquer our own battles. We all have battles, you know. But this is my battle. This was my battle, and I feel like I conquered a lot of it. There's always been things to conquer. I wish I could inspire everybody to just get out and do something every day, even if it's water exercise, because it's all related. It's, mind, body, and spirit. It's all related. But I'm really happy with myself. I'm happy being around positive thinking people. I think that helps. And I have lots of friends. So I feel like my life is full, It's just I'm so thankful to be out here and be part of the world.
So much fun. It's like orgasmic or euphoric or like endorphinic. I just made that up.
What for it?
Endorphinic.
Endorphinic.
Because endorphins, and then the ick.
Now, if you want, I could.
Support for this program is provided by
The Women's Hospital delivers comprehensive health care to women and infants through inpatient and outpatient obstetrical, gynecologic, and education programs. The Women's Hospital, only at Deaconess.